Good day. Simply smashing! Welcome to the stream!
I get this guy?
Sure, you take that guy for now.
Alright. He's a ninja! He's attacking your base. Alright, we'll start now then. How about that? You have to say 3, 2, 1. That's what.
3, 2, 1, start.
Hey everybody, welcome to, once again to Kajari's Curious Crafts. We are here in sunny Florida, streaming live from Jamie's Craft Studio at the Real Tranquil. And we're gonna be building something today.
Hi.
That's the only thing on your script.
I stuck to the script.
Alright, let's continue.
I'll look for that.
No, just get the regular one in case he screws up, then we can at least hear Madonna. You gonna stand up?
No.
He's a terrible singer, by the way.
Through the wilderness, by what I made it through. Didn't know how lost I was till I found you.
Check it out, guys. That's what it looks like up close. Is that good?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's good.
See the different colors in there?
It could be good at a angle.
Oh, sure. So I look better at an angle too. How's that?
That was
Is that
flawless.
better?
Perfect. Flawless.
Okay, so we still have a bunch to finish, but here is we need little red lights so that
I know, so you know where to look.
Oh, we're not that sophisticated yet.
Yeah, we're not that.
$1.
All going to the Trevor Project.
Yes, all going.
Clover's here. Hi, everybody.
You got her
I
good.
had to do that. I'm sorry for your ears.
She's gonna start crying.
I'm sorry.
I'm holding a laptop on my lap.
I'm not really sorry.
Well, I never.
But that'll be fine.
It's weird. I'm actually like getting to a point where keeping up with chat's kind of difficult now.
That's
That is,
Well,
it is good,
stuff
but
my stocking.
Oh my
well, look what the
Finally
cat
with the 200
dragged
bits.
in.
Thank you.
Was that the stuff my stocking?
That was the stuff my
I love
stockings.
that. That was one of Jimmy's
That was
things to
good.
me. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Rainick, amazing.
That's what I suggested to him because I said, "What are some?"
And we are live.
Woo! Cowabunga! Woohoo! We are going partially submerged tonight, folks. I'm so excited. Welcome to Kajari's Curious Crafts and Miramore. Woo! From Friends? You?
I don't think so.
No.
He does look like Ross from Friends. Oh, come on. See? I hope that was recorded. Was that recorded?
sailing in at you.
Hello! Welcome to Kajori's Curious Crafts! Crafts so easy, even a monkey can do it!
What'd you do, Ray?
I have to get my...
Oh, look at you, fancy pants.
If you're tuning in
These-
just now, I'm drinking.
Look at that. These halflings were drunk when they built this. Look at that. It's so... Ah!
Somebody please clip that.
Half-hour show? Half-hour show
A
today?
half-hour show. We're 7 minutes over. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Can I come up now?
Yeah, you can come up now.
I'm never gonna get this thing off my butt.
Yeah, probably.
Yeehaw! Welcome to WAND Radio. My name is Emmett. Whether it's your first year on campus or your fifth, I'll be your guide through this magical mystery thing called college life.
Emmett, what are you doing in here?
Nothing?
Okay, because this equipment is very expensive, and the university wouldn't like it if it gets broken. Remember, you, Rupert, and I are on in an hour.
WAND Radio, for your magical listening enjoyment on nerdsmith.org or wherever you download your podcasts.
I missed that smiling face.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Kajari's Curious Crafts and 3 Sheets 1 Shot. I am all alone in stream chat party on my Discord, so I'm just going to take out the earbud and just talk to you guys, and if I see anyone pop in, then I'll pop in. But right now, it's easier for me to maneuver around without that earbud in my ear. So, welcome to 3 Sheets 1 Shot. We don't have a story to continue today. We have to start a brand new story. And, yeah, so that's what we're going to do tonight. No, that's actually, we at Nerdsmith, all the creators are promoting WAND Radio this week. And that is the little commercial I put together for them. So I'll play it one more time during the stream in case anyone missed it who logged in after the fact to see it. But it is a podcast. They have all their podcasts are over there on Nerdsmith. If you ever are interested in listening to some podcasts, that is one of them. WAND Radio. Actually, it's WAND. It's a radio station for a school of magic and occult or something. I don't know, but it looks really funny, and those are the characters on that show. So I threw that together about an hour ago, 2 hours ago, something like that, just for fun. Okay, so let's get started on this story. Okay, really, necromantic dragons. Okay, do we always have to put a necromancer in there? Is that what you're saying? We always have to have a necromancer in the story? Okay. All right. So what we did is when we finished off with our intrepid adventurers last week, they finally made it to Ravenscroft, hopefully towing, or it crashed into the sea, the dirigible, the steampunk Zeppelin that they were fighting with. They towed it to Ravenscroft and got to the docks there, disembarked, and everything's honky-dory. Queen Galera met with Lord Blackwing, and our adventurers are in Ravenscroft. Let me scroll down to the map here. This is the, if you haven't noticed, this is the template I use for our 3 Sheets 1 Shot adventure. You can see I leave some stuff in there to fill it out. So let's see. I still have a cough, so sorry about that. All right, so the necromancer needs to be the hero that was a little late. Yeah, that's the difference between a necromancer and a cleric is timing. What's the old joke about necromancers talking with a buddy and the buddy says, "Yeah, man, families are hard to raise," and necromancer says, "Not if they're buried close together." What? I love that one. Okay, so down to the map. Here we are in Amon-Rath, the realm of Amon-Rath. They have traveled from Tarathiel over to Ravenscroft, and now they're there. It's a major port city, and they the world is their oyster. They can go anywhere. Now, if you've been tuning into my Tuesday night show, Kijari's Curious Crafts, we have been working on Shackelford Dunsby's Distillery. And the last episode of that is coming up this Tuesday. I have been working off screen on it, so I posted some pictures to Twitter and some here to Discord for you to look at. And we'll be finishing it up this Tuesday. So we could send our party down the Morning's Cry River this way, down to Embershire, and Dunsby's Distillery is right about here. So it might actually be easier if they went through the Southern Passage, Endymion's Passage, I think it's called, and meet him there. Maybe there's an issue going on. So that could be one thing. Of course, we could have... All right, thanks, Rylan. Yes, I have a Tuesday night show. You're very funny. I also have a website, but we won't get into that. Seafood restaurants in that port town that also gives out quests. Actually, there is an inn, and there's two inn and taverns in Ravenscroft that are the most popular ones. The one, of course, is the Crow's Nest Inn and Tavern. That's the build I made, a couple years ago now. And the other one is the Rusty Anchor, and that is near the docks. That's where most of the sailors and the soldiers that are training over in the Ravenscroft training grounds, that's where they kind of hang out. Whereas the Crow's Nest Inn and Tavern is home to the guild, the Wandering Lost. And that would be the tavern I would surmise would have any kind of wanted board or quest board or something where they would put notices up, because the members of the Wandering Lost guild are... Okay, stop with the website. Stop with the website. You guys are killing me. So the Wandering Lost is a large guild of adventurers that form parties to go out and take notices off these boards and get rewards for completing them. I modeled it after a similar guild in Critical Role's first season out of someone help me. Rylan, you watch. What is it? It's the one in not Amon, and not... It's the old ancient city. Anyway, they have a guild there, and actually that was the couple of episodes where they had guest stars on the show, guest adventurers, and that was really funny. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You know, I can't think of it, but it's the ancient city that they ended up the last bit. Yeah, the Slayer's Take. That's it exactly. But what city was that in? Anyway, mine's called The Wandering Lost, and it is based out of Ravenscroft. And you have to have a letter of recommendation to get into the guild, but that doesn't stop you from going into the Crow's Nest Inn and Tavern and taking notices off the board, or taking a quest off the board if you'd like to try it with your own little ragtag band of adventurers. Vasselheim, yes, thank you very much. It was Vasselheim. Okay, so we could have them go to the Crow's Nest and look there, or they could just go into the Rusty Anchor and figure out where they want to go from there. I had to pull up the glossary because I do have some of these places already have owners and barkeeps and tavern wenches and bards that sing and bands that sing. I do have that already kind of laid out, but we also want to give them a choice. We don't want this to be one-dimensional. We don't want this to be we want this to be more like a sandbox where they can choose to go wherever they want. So we're going to try, instead of just having them go linearly through this world, we want to say, well, there are these several things happening around the world. You got the battle for the Obsidian Wilds to the north. You've got an issue maybe down at Ashbourne Peak that's never been resolved. And that kind of thing. Oh boy, oh, hi, Vellon! How are you? Thank you for joining me. I need a little notice when I get new people in the stream. I have my chat blown up to like 400% so my old eyes can see it, but I miss some people sometimes. T-Girl is here. Hello, T-Girl. Did you see the commercial? I'll play it again, I promise. It is funny. So what I thought we'd do is have an end boss and then work backward to how they got to that point. Because I think that starting out we can start out with a quest or several quest choices, but then have something at the end that they have to do, and then work backward from there. And that might be the best way to go. Who's the cute dragon mono? That's Sir Mimsy. All right, Rylan, if you mention Necromancer one more time. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Avelon. That's awesome. Well, I'll play it again. I said I was going to play it again because I think only a couple people were in when I played it. It's only like 39-second song, so it's really cute. So there's Sir Mimsy. Okay, so let's get started with, let's scroll back up into our starting party. We're going to continue, I think. So this is going to continue to be an adventure for our 3+ players that we talked about. And right now they're going to be, I think they're still going to be 5 to 8. Of course, last adventure, if they survived last adventure, they would have been able to completely defeat Canoloth, and maybe not. Maybe they could have bargained with the Canoloth or the master of the Canoloth, but they definitely would have had to deal with our Vampiric Daywalker, which is our homebrew vampire during the day creature that we came up with. So let's just say that they're still 5 to 8, and we don't have a title for this yet, so we'll leave that blank. And our summary, we can't do that until we've read the story. So let's just start the story. Yeah, First Last. I know. NPC, his name is First Last. Yeah, and so that's the pronunciation over there. I had fun with that one. So they are our intrepid, and I love that word, I use it all the time, adventurers, have disembarked in the large port city of Ravenscroft. Again, this is Ravenscroft, not Ravensloft. There are no vampires here yet. Well, actually, the weirdest name for an NPC that we've had, I think, is one that Rylan came up with a couple of stories ago called Torgen Bjorgen. He was the owner of a shop, a dwarf owner of a shop. That caught me off guard. It was really funny. No, they don't need to change their currency. It's gold, silver, and copper. It's fine, Anshoku. We're good. We're good with the currency. Thanks. Okay, so large port city of Ravenscroft. As they leave the ship, actually, it's as they leave the Diamond's Light. That was the name that you guys gave Queen Galera's ship that they took from Tarathiel over here to Ravenscroft. As they leave the Diamond's Light, they head southward into the heart of the city. And then the dungeon master needs to tell them that they have several choices. Let's just bullet point them. They can go to the Crow's Nest. If you're wondering, that is spelled properly like a bird and not QRO, which is what we named Crow's Hollow to the west of Tarathiel. Crow's Nest Inn and Tavern, which is probably a little southwest from the docks, and is home to the Wandering Lost. That is definitely a Tolkien reference there for those of you curious. A guild of adventurers. Whoopsie. And like I said, I've already put together a lot of my glossary is, I don't know, like 18,000 pages long, but it does have information about who the leader of the Wandering Lost is. They stay at the Crow's Nest. I already have the tavern owner and the barkeep and everybody there named already, so we're not going to go into that naming convention for this, but we're going to give them kind of a direction they can take. They can go to the Rusty Anchor. If they need supplies, they can go to the Ancient Compass. The Ancient Compass is a shop owned by Agnes Bristlebeard. She is a mountain dwarf that took over the ownership of the ancient compass when her uncle passed away, although she would rather be adventuring. And she was a real life player. We had turned NPC when that player stopped playing. So this is a inn and tavern near the docks. It's frequented by sailors and soldiers who train near the Ravenscroft training grounds. You know what? I could find the map. I thought I had it on here. But you know what? I better not, because it is not my map. I need to redraw it. I do use Incarnate Pro, which allows me to use this map for this purpose. But the map I formerly had for the layout of Ravenscroft was just something I found on Google Images, and I don't know who the owner is of it, so I don't want to use that here. I will recreate that myself and redraw that to get these, so that you can see next week where all these are located approximately. They can also go to the Light of the Moon. This is a arcane, sort of a home. I'll just say the arcane home to any wizards and other magic users. I'll put. I gave it more of a definite description in my glossary, and I will get back to that. I'll pull that up. Okay. Let me scroll back and see what I've missed. I don't want to miss anybody chatting since it's at 400% font. It's going by very fast on my screen. Yeah, that's it. That's the Tolkien reference for sure. The Rusty Anchor have a hot... No, it does not have a hot tub and spa, but we could always add one. Yeah, Merjack users. Ushers. There you go. Okay, so the Light of the Moon also has an interesting story behind it. It was run by a gnome named Eliwick, and she retired. And I actually don't know who the new owner is. We haven't gotten into that part of the story yet. So if they choose to go there, we could do that. But there is a rune, a transportation rune in the tower of the Light of the Moon. And it connects directly to Maeston, which is a very ancient arcane city. Very secluded, very hidden in Covent, which is right here. So it's very close to Ravenscroft. And there's a ley line that directly goes to Ravenscroft as well. And there's actually, if the story needs to be told, Miramore has a ley line as well. There are ley lines from Miramore to Maeston to Ravenscroft, but those stories have not been written. That's just something we've used in the lore. So let's see, being on the coast, what kind of magic would the Light of the Moon specialize in? They're more like, well, let me see if I can pull up my, let me see if I can pull the, let's see all my crap here. D&D, Amon-Rath files, Amon-Rath doc. This doc is pretty big. It's going to take a while to come up on the screen. That's my old map. Glossaries are at the end. Hold on, it's hundreds of pages long. All right, here we go. These are our players. Okay, Light of the Moon. It's the location of the sanctuary and meeting place for the Onyx Order. All right, that takes us to the Onyx Order. I have been writing this story for writing in this homebrew world for a couple of years now, so it just kind of keeps getting added onto. Okay, the Onyx Order is a religious fraternity concerned with the spiritual needs of the people of Covent, which is the mostly human settlement on Amon-Rath. It was formerly led by Eliwick Lilly, who's now retired, and the main order is located in Ravenscroft, but there's smaller, less formal clutches in Ferncrest Keep and Maeston and Granlyn, and it serves the clerics and the paladins. And we do have other, hey Chief, I'm so glad you could be here today. Thank you. I hope you're having a great day. It's Friday, so hopefully you're going to have a good weekend. Much better than your day today. I understand was a bit of a ew. A bit of an ew. But there are a lot of buildings and places they could go in the city. So let me just close this one back down. I'll leave it here. I'll just shrink it, minimize it, and we'll go back to our story. So they could go to any of these locations. That was paladins and clerics. And clerics. And contains a transportation. What are they called? Rune? It's called something. Someone help me with that. There's a rune or device. Transportation circle. Thank you very much. See, this is why I have you guys here. Transportation circle in the tower. Okay, but there are other places they could go, places that we haven't named. It's a big city, so if we want our adventurers to go somewhere else, let's decide about that. So I'm going to open it up to chat and fun to a wormhole. Sure. Oh, well, I'm sorry that your coworker's an idiot. In fact, I was joking earlier today that I should name a character Stu, and then his last name would be Pedidiot, and then if you say his name, it would be Stu Pedidiot. But anyway, it was just my little inside joke. Okay, so let's decide where we want them to go. We don't want them to go to Tube City. There's no Tube City in this world. So where do you think that we should head? Should we recommend, should the Dockmaster maybe recommend that they're probably going to need some lodging. They've come over as guests of the Queen, but they're certainly not going to stay on the ship. So where should the Dockmaster should maybe direct them? Wow, I cannot spell that correctly. A few options to the party. The Inn and Tavern. Okay. Yes, it does. So should we send them to the Rusty Anchor? Or if they're looking for adventure, I guess the Dockmaster would know that the Crow's Nest would be the place to go. So we're gonna write the story based on the Anchor of Rust, the Rusty Anchor. They're not going to really find a lot of adventures there. They might find a little notice board saying that someone needs help with some farming buildings that need to be raised next week or something. But the Dockmaster. But to get any kind of adventures, they're probably going to need to go to the Crow's Nest. So we're going to say that he's going to send them to the Crow's Nest. So that's going to be our first chapter. The Crow's Nest. Okay. The notice board near the end of the bar is full of is that capitalized posters? Nah, probably not. And other notices. Some of them look like they've been hanging on the board for a while. Probably because most of the meteor quests and adventures are snatched up quickly by the members of the Wandering Lost. They're going to want to take the high-scale, high-paying jobs, and probably the kind of the gruntier jobs posted on this board are going to be overlooked by the Wandering Lost. They don't need to go on such paltry adventures. They are higher level. They have more experience. So the ones hanging there are not going to be very juicy, but maybe our party just catches someone posting a brand new notice up on that board as our party walks in. A job board. Yeah, it's kind of like a job board. Yeah. I like the mermaid's tail. That's a really cute idea. Exotic goods. I like that, Rylan. You know what? Save that idea. We are going to probably put that in another city, because Ravenscroft already has a couple of those kinds of things. But definitely save that. I like that idea. Yes, exactly. Basically, the rat infestation is the exactly kind of thing. Well, maybe not the taxes, but something similar. Well, not meteor, Anshoku. Meteor. Okay, never mind. I'm going to write in a tavern because it looks better. Okay. For a while. However, as our party enters the inn, they notice the innkeeper, whoopsie, 2 N's, 1K, posting a brand new wanted? Inky, you're so funny. I heard Meteor too, and I knew someone was going to make a joke, and I knew it was going to be Anshoku first. So, thank you for that, Anshoku. Posting a brand new sign notice onto the board. If they, let's see. How about this? Not as our party enters, but while our party is looking at the board, the innkeeper posts a new notice on the board. It's getting a little wordy there. And this, let's talk about what these could be. This could be. You know what? Posts 3. There we go. 3 new notices on the board. All right, here we go, guys. We're gonna have them do their taxes. All right, what does Ymir say? Rancher Sue's found an egg and needs your help. Okay, you know, we're not gonna do Dr. Seuss ones. No, I don't think so. Nice try, Ymir. We may have some copyright infringement going on there. 2, you're only going to give them 2 choices? All right, 2 choices. Post 2 new notices on the board. What's one of them? Remember, these guys are probably going to be close to level 8, so they're not going to really take the rat infestation ones. Ravenscroft does have an expansive sewer system. We could send them into the sewer. We have not done a sewer adventure yet, so that might be a good idea. And that would be a good one coming from the innkeeper as well, because as the innkeeper, he would definitely have his finger on the pulse of what's happening below the city as well. The Fatberg. What is the Fatberg? A 6 dragon? All right. What am I not reading? Where's this young head? Okay. I thought he was doing Horton Here's a Who thing with the hatching. All right. Let's send him into the sewer. There you go. Any normal rats. Okay. Sewer Fatberg. I know what that is. I know what a Fatberg is, and I'm not going to Google it because I haven't had dinner yet. So, no. I'm not going to Google that, especially streaming. Thanks, Anshoku. All right, so let's say some sort of unusual activity in the sewers below Ravenscroft. Let's see. Deal with the matter. Oh, what is the unusual activity? Rodents of unusual size. Were rats. But on you forgot the rim shot there. You know what? Let's do what we always do and check out our. I don't know why it does that. Let's go to D&D Beyond. We threw a mimic in last week's game. Let's look up rat in the monsters. Cranium rat. Ooh. Do we have cranium rats? Giant rats? There's some variants in there. Let's check out cranium rat. Afraid of giant fat slime. You rat folk. Cranium rats are, oh, they're very low. But they're, those aren't funny though. Giant rats are, they're only an 1/8. What else? What could live in a sewer? Let's search. Monsters. Environment. It would be urban. And we want them to be challenge rating 4 to what, 8? Let's see what we can find. If there are hundreds of them, yeah, that would be an issue. All right. Urban. I've actually put an assassin in a sewer before. That was fun. Bag of nails. So that's from Tomb of Annihilation. Let's see. Oh, we put Banderhobs there before. That was kind of fun. It's a giant frog-like creature. That's a great idea. We could do that. We could put a Banderhob in there. They have some grappling and other... If we put 3 in there, 3 at challenge 5 for 3 8-level characters, they could probably handle those. Ooh, they're birthed by hags. Oh, I know. Then at the end of the sewer, in an old abandoned part of the sewer, like that hasn't been that has been abandoned for a while, that was previously used but no longer used. Maybe there's a coven of hags. Ooh, I think we have our end boss. Coven of hags. I threw those at a. I think I threw those at my players once. That was fun. They were sea hags. A coven of sea hags. Yeah, no necromancers. Stop it with the necromancers. Oh, I can't look at that one. I can't because I'm in Curse of Strahd right now and I don't want any spoilers, so I can't look at that one. Let's just look up hags and see what I think there's a sidebar on covens. At least there is in the book. Yeah, green, night, and sea. We could throw green hags at them. Let's see what that looks like. Dark sorority. Okay, here we are. Here's the covens. Yep. My players, the Banana Brothers, by the way, we had so much. This was one of the most fun. We didn't stream it. The most fun campaigns we've ever done. We played on my Rogue's Gallows terrain piece and with the docks and everything, and it was amazing. It was just so much fun. They eventually defeated them, but man, it was a crazy, crazy fight. All right, there's the green hag. A green hag is 3, but the coven, I think, raises it because they're 12th level spellcaster, so it raises it up a little bit. I'll have to look to see. Maybe we'll homebrew that. Let's go back to let me just open a new page because I don't know why it does this. It's crazy. Because I think in my homebrew, I think I did put the Coven of Hags in there. Here we go. Coven of Sea Hags. So I could change that. I can't share it because it's so close to whatever the other one we did. Yeah, it's a 4. So that works well. And I could change this at the end and have a coven of green hags instead. So that's what we'll do. All right, let's get back to our story. We will have Banderhobs attacking them. Large amphibians are terrorizing the local, what is it called? Is there some sort of medieval job where you had to go down and clean out the sewers? Something. I don't know. Well, the peasants, yeah, but there was I thought that was like that cleaned out the garderobes or some job. You could always Google it, I guess. There was a medieval jobs. There's some jobs. Jobs in the Middle Ages. Okay. Let's check this one out. Butcher, baker, we all know those. Stonemasons, weaver. We need the nasty jobs. Farmer, watchman, wheelwright. Oh, rooter. A roofer. I thought that was a rooter. Rotor-rooter. There we go. Tanner. Tax collector, belt maker. Cook. They don't need all these pictures. Okay, that's it. That's all the jobs there are in medieval times. So apparently Google has failed me. Oh, yeah. Okay. Bring out your dead. The dead collector. We could do that, sure. Okay. Apothecary? Yeah. Lots of them. We'll just say the local townsfolk and those tasked with keeping the city streets clean. There. Gravekeeper, yeah. But I'm talking about the ones that would be the butcher, the baker, the king. Yeah. I'm talking about the person whose job it is to keep the street, like a street sweeper. Is that the word I'm thinking of? Oh, that's why is this making an error? Okay. I'll just leave it. We'll think of it and we'll come back to it. Let me put red on it so I don't forget. Okay. What is our second? What is our second task that we're tasking them to do? A Zamboni driver. So that was the sewer one, the second task. Yeah, where can we send them for the second? Once we get the end boss. Let me make a note. This is Banderhobbs, because I know I'm gonna forget between today and next Friday, and a coven of green hags end boss. Yeah, the graveyard is outside the city, so it could be something that occurs there, or they could go. They could be sent. They could be sent to Maeston, because nothing's been written about Maeston. They could have to go to talk to the current leader over at the Onyx Order at the Light of the Moon Tower, and willing sacrifice to summon it. Yeah, I could put that on the board, but I don't think they're gonna take that one. Let me go back and check something out in Ammonrath real quick. It was Light. Okay, Light of the Moon. That was correct. I was getting confused with names a second ago. Food and drink provided. Please RSVP with your last meal. That's hysterical. I don't know. We could. Yeah. The Thieves Guild. That's in Ferncrest Keep, the major part. There's an offshoot here in Ravenscroft, but because Lord Blackwing he's pretty adamant about keeping that sort of activity in line. They don't do as well in Ravenscroft as they do in the outer city, including, believe it or not, Ferncrest Keep, where the king lives. But that's something to think about. They could go down to. We've done a lot of stuff in Ferncrest Keep in my homebrew, in my games that we do here. So I'd like to send them to some place where there aren't a lot of names of people and NPCs and places and events and things that happen there. So I'd love to send them to another area, or even just outside the city, in the outer, like a farmland outside the city where they meet new people. That you guys can help me name those people and come up with a different adventure for them. A temple. You know what? There is a temple near the Moon's Rest. The Moon's Rest is an inn between Ravenscroft and Ferncrest. It's right about here at the bend in the river. And I do have a lot written about the backstory there. And there was a quest there that the very first D&D game I ever ran was the biggest one I've ever run, was there. And it features a lot of puzzles instead of hacking and slashing and killing. There's a lot of puzzles to solve. But our party did solve it, and the Moon's Rest is not thriving, but it's a nice little inn down there. They could be sent down there. And near there is a temple that has been that is in ruins. They could go to that temple. So that's not a bad idea. An abandoned farmhouse. I like those ideas. I like the abandoned farmhouse and the temple. How about we send them to the Moon's Rest, where they can talk to Endymion Moon, that's the owner, and his wife Celine, and they send them to the ruins where there's some unusual activity, not a necromancer. And do that. So that could be our second one. We'll do both of them. There's a farmhouse there, and Cowghosts. Would they say boo or moo? The other quest is to travel to the Moon's Rest. And uncover the unusual, well, I can't type today, happenings near an old temple. I gotta change that. And what would that end boss be? Moon pies. Bamoo. You were gonna say necromancer though, Rylan. I knew you were gonna say necromancer. The light of the moon. All right, well, let's go back and decide. Use our old pal D&D Beyond to come up with a nice end boss there. Oops, game rules, monsters. Let's once again do 4 to 8, but this time they would live in a forest. Let's make them undead in the forest. Let's see what we can find. Revenants and whoever Sir Godfrey Gwilym is, which I can't look at because it's Curse of Strahd. Let's check out Revenants. Challenge 5, that's good. Ooh. Oh boy. Okay. Do they come back with... I would need, at challenge rating 5, I would need 2 or 3 of them to throw at the party. Or the Revenant could be the final boss, and it's surrounded by a bunch of undead, like zombies or undead creatures. So let's tuck that aside. And no. No. You are on fire tonight, Enchoku. They are surrounded by challenge rating. Let's just do 2 to 4. Undeads. Will-o-wisps. That would be fun. They're seeing the lights. They're seeing flashes of light in the forest. They can't figure out why. And the will-o-wisps are drawing them in, and they keep having to deal with these tons of them just at challenge rating 2, we could throw several at them. And but they're all being trying to lure people toward this revenant who is making wants revenge on the people who come near his temple, his old temple. How about that? Will-o-wisps as the sort of the light that they see. That calls them in. Let's do a dice roll. What do you think? How many of these should we throw at him? Let's do our any dice here and throw something at him. Yeah, I was thinking of that. That's what made me think of it. That scene in Brave. Let's do 1D100. Let's see what the roll would be. 2d6 plus 2. See what that average is. That's 9. That might be a little much. Let's do 8. 2d. How about just 2d6? All right, that's 7. I think they can handle 7 level 2s. Because if they can't handle those, they wouldn't have made it to this city by now. If you saw what we threw at them in our previous campaigns, they actually shouldn't be alive right now. And a revenant, did we say? Did I spell that correctly? It didn't give me an error, but it doesn't look right. Yes, that's correct. Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Ooh, he's got turn immunity. That's going to be evil. All right, and a revenant at the end. Well, I know. the DM can, of course, read through the whole story first and then decide the strength and weaknesses of their party and decide if that's what they want to do or not. But we have a good setup now to potentially send our intrepid adventurers on one of 2 quests. So that's perfect. So that's what our setup is. So it's been an hour, and I do want to run my commercial one more time, and then we are going to raid Raynick, but we're giving him a few minutes to go set up. We're raiding Raynick. He's over there playing with Rellin and some other folks. I don't know what they're playing yet. They were going to play... They mentioned a couple of games. I think Vermintide was mentioned. Yeah, I'll show the commercial. I'm definitely going to show I'll do it right now. Well, I'll stop gabbing and play the commercial. Hang on one second.
Yeehaw! Welcome to WAND Radio. My name is Emmett. Whether it's your first year on campus or your 5th, I'll be your guide through this magical mystery thing called college life.
Emmett, what are you doing in here?
Nothing.
Okay, because this equipment is very expensive, and the university wouldn't like it if it gets broken. Remember, you, Rupert, and I are on in an hour.
WAND Radio. For your magical listening enjoyment on nerdsmith.org or wherever you download your podcasts.
Okay, I'm back again. Wasn't that cute? I had fun putting that together today. Anyway, all right, so let's give them 2 minutes to get set up and going and deal 96 d20 piercing damage without a save. Yeah, no, that's not happening. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I had fun putting that together. They made available all their logos for me, and that little sound clip I took from their press kit. So that was fun to put together. Okay, so we've got our potential stories set up for next Friday night, and that's what we're going to be doing next Friday night. Thank you to Incarnate for letting me, of course, use their maps on the Incarnate Pro that I have a sub to. You see Nerdsmith there. I am a proud member of Nerdsmith, and I am very, very happy that we had such a successful sub drive last month, and thank you to everyone who supported that sub drive. Next Tuesday is the final night of the terrain build Shackelford Dunsby's distillery. I did make his distillery today, or this last couple of days, along with a steam forge that and a table that I guess all distilleries need some sort of steam thing. That's Tuesday. The next Thursday on Aunt Anne's tree, I will be making a cute little elephant ornament. If you have a new little one in your life, it'd be perfect for that. And that's during my 1 o'clock p.m. 1 o'clock p.m. afternoon streams here on Twitch at 1 p.m. East. And then, of course, this next Friday at 7, we'll continue working on this story. I don't even have a name for it yet. We'll have to come up with a good name for it. Whether our adventurers decide to go into the sewers or travel to the Moon's Rest, we'll decide then. So, Rainick, are you ready? Rylan, are you ready? Let me pull up. I'm going to go to the thank you screen so I can pull up my... There we go. I will pull up my Twitch and get ready to switch over there. All right. Well, let's see. I hope he's ready. All right, what are we going to say? We got to say something. We got to say, Mimsy love. Let's throw Mimsy out there at him. Mimsy love to everybody. Mimsy's like buried. I can't find Mimsy on this list. Here he is. Mimsy love. He's like lost with all the other dragons. I know Moonpies sound really good right now, don't they? There. Mimsy love to Rainick and Rylan and all the players over there on Rainick's channel. All right, ready? Let's go over there and raid Rainick and see what happens. Hopefully he's set up. I haven't heard him talking, so maybe he's already set up. Send him some love from Sir Mimsy. And I will see you guys Tuesday, hopefully. Have a good one.